Hi, I'm Twila Glenn with the Twila Glenn Group at Joy Daniels Real Estate Group. And we wanted to do a virtual presentation today of something that has been helpful to a lot of our clients. So we're just going to do a quick presentation on some tips for transitioning as a senior, whether you are moving to an independent living or a senior living facility, or perhaps you're just downsizing. These are tips that anyone looking to sell can use, but as our team specializes in this niche, as myself and my team member down there, Amy Kiefer, our senior real estate specialist, we thought this may be something that you can share with friends and family or anyone who's looking to make a move. So next slide, Barbara. Oh, and Barbara, that's our team assistant. She takes care of everything else for us. So one thing that we do on our consultations, so say someone calls us and says, hey, we're looking to sell our house. We have no idea, we may be doing this in a year, 2 years. The first thing we always say is start now, start early. A lot of our clients who are looking to make a transition contact us 1 to 3 years in advance. And when you have lived in your house for 20, 30, 40 plus years, there is a lot of emotion involved in that transition, but also a lot of stuff most of the time. So our very first recommendation and tip is to meet with a senior real estate specialist. Yes, you can meet with any agent, but a senior real estate specialist, they're someone who is licensed and has a special designation to deal with all the facets that may come with transitioning after being in your home for a long period of time. During this meeting, we do an individual and needs assessment, walking through your home, giving you a value of selling as is versus selling with maybe some improvements, which we'll go over in more detail in a minute. And also just talking about your timeline, who may be there to help you, and also provide you a list of other people that can help you if you don't have friends and family members that want to help tackle, or maybe you don't want to ask them to help tackle the things that you may have in your home. We will provide a general home preparation checklist at that time, and also, like I said, some vendor recommendations. So that is really the first step. Here is a copy of what this home enhancement checklist looks like. It's a 2-sided document that, again, just kind of gives you ideas of things that buyers look at. Our job is to take care of the major things in the house, because that puts money in your pocket, or the things that are at eye level that a buyer is really going to be looking at. So here's just a copy. Next, we have our recommended tradesmen's list. This is a list that we have either personally used, our clients have used, or other agents and their clients within our office has used. It's just something that we use as a resource to kind of help you along the way. And if you want a copy of either document, please feel free to reach out to us personally on our website, glenngrouprealty.com, which our contact information will be provided at the end of this presentation. So as I mentioned, we have our home checklist and our tradesman's checklist, or tradesman's resource list that we provide. But another thing that we may recommend during our initial walkthrough of your home is a pre-listing home inspection. So this slide, as you see, just gives you some of those benefits of a pre-listing home inspection. As you may have heard, in this market that we are currently in, it being a seller's market, a lot of buyers are waiving the home inspection. And while that may be great because you don't have to do anything to your house, then it also could potentially create some liability down the line. So one of the benefits of a pre-listing home inspection is, again, reducing the stress of selling your home. What if something were to come up, everything is disclosed, you know what could happen, or maybe things with code has changed that you're just not aware of. It also helps with pricing your home correctly. So let's just say in the situation where you may want to sell your house as is, you are offering everything that the home inspector knows that could be wrong with your house, and you're telling the buyer, here it is, have at it. If you do want to maybe sell your house for more by having that pre-listing home inspection, you have the list of items that you can take care of, especially if you're looking at 1 to 3 years out. Gives you time to get those things fixed. Then you have a re-inspection of the home closer to the time, shows the buyer that you have fixed these items. You have copies of estimates or invoices, paid invoices, or again, you can have some of the stuff done yourself. So really, it can give you more money in the long run, more money in the short term, and also reduce liability. And it does speed up the sales process. Here is a copy of the home inspection report, just as an example of what the first page of it looks like. It will list, and there again, it's a visible inspection. The inspector does an inspection from the roof to the basement. They look at if there's any missing shingles, maybe flashing, maybe missing around the chimney. There may be a crack in the basement that you have no idea if it's a potential structural crack or not. Maybe a leak that you don't know about. There's a lot of things that just living in our houses, we don't know day to day, things that could be happening in areas that we don't see. So the home inspection report provides just kind of an overview of a lot of those things. So next, Amy is going to talk about some things that you can do to help you get top dollar, not just in this market, but any market. Amy?
Thanks, Twila. As Twila had mentioned, if you're talking to us early on in the process, we can kind of give you some suggestions on what you may want to do as far as home improvements. Because when you think about it, a lot of people will say to us, I just want to sell as is. But what we'll do is when we go to list your home, we will give you a price range. And the range, if you sell it as is, sometimes you'll be on the low end of the range. But if you want to get some more value out of your home and more dollars out of your home, sometimes there's some quick tips that you can take care of if you have a little bit of time and engage in the help of some other people that makes sense financially as an investment into the home. Because, you know, obviously you don't want to go and make huge repairs that you aren't going to get that money back when you sell your home. But there's certain things that you can do that will definitely give you more appeal to your listing and bring in more buyers and more attention, which will put more dollars in your pocket, which is all what we're looking for, is to get the max value of what we did to our home. The first item, I'm just gonna go through a series of pictures to give you some tips on some different items that you can think about. As you can see, curb appeal. First thing buyers look at when they're going to your home, or sometimes they're doing a drive-by, or your photos that are online, is when they drive up to the home, what is the curb appeal of your home? Pretty easy on this one. Pretty simple things were done. Obviously, a tree was blocking the view of this nice home, so they took down the tree. And then they, I believe they painted the concrete to make it a little more attractive as well, and just kind of cleaned up the overall look. So, because like I said, first impressions are a lot. Sometimes people will pull up to a home and they kind of drive away if they don't like the outside looks of it. So you definitely want to make it so they can drive right up and be welcomed into your home. Next slide. Another thing that is a cosmetic fix and can attract more buyers is painting and wall color. As you can see on here, personally, you might like the dark red color and you've lived with it for years and had it for years. But normally, most people, when they go into a home, they're trying to figure out what they can do to make it, because you want them to feel like they can move right in and move some of their things in. So painting it a little more neutral is always a plus as well. Next slide. Wallpaper is another thing. Sometimes if you want to sell it as is, you can leave your wallpaper in there. But as buyers are going through your home, a lot of times they're just kind of calculating in their head what they're going to have to put into it to make their own home financially. So definitely, if you take out the wallpaper, make it more neutral, it just opens up the door to people thinking that this is where they're going to go. And they also kind of feel like they don't have to do anything once they move in. So they kind of put that value into the actual listing. Next slide. Cabinets and painting cabinets. As you can see, they didn't actually replace the cabinets in here, but they went with a much more neutral color to that makes it more attractive to a lot of people. It is kind of the whites or something that's neutral and kind of popular right now, and it just makes an overall more feel that it's a more modern kitchen, even though they didn't replace the cabinets, which can be quite expensive. They just simply painted them as well. So it adds to a different style. And then when you're going to show your home, one thing we always tell people, and as they're getting ready to sell their home, is decluttering. You want the buyer to feel like they can move right into the home and bring their own things. So if your things are sitting all over the place, sometimes it's harder to envision what it would be like if they would move into the home. So as you can see here, especially like in your kitchens, mine kind of looks like the top photo because I live in my house, because I have a lot of my things there. But if I was going to sell my home, I would definitely do the bottom photo. Just empty those items off your countertops. You can put them in a storage bin, whatever you like. And also on the table, as you can see, one item on the table, we say 1 or 2 items is what you definitely need to try to limit your things in there, so they can, it has a more open feel to the buyers.
All right, so next we're going to go a little bit over comparative market analysis, or otherwise known as a CMA. So if you decide to use our services, we'll provide a current market range of an estimated list price. If you just want to do a initial consultation, we'll come with just a range. It's not going to be a full out CMA, but we'll come with just a general range of, hey, if you were to list today, this is approximately what you can get. And as Amy mentioned, for those that we're talking to over the phone prior to us coming out, we'll ask, sold as is versus making improvements. And then that is going to determine where we're going to be within that range, or it could be either under that range or higher. But again, we put this together prior to seeing your house. And then after we walk through your house and we talk about what you want to do, closer to the time, we do put together the CMA. So next slide, please. So next, just want to say, this is what we do day in, day out. We are professional full-time realtors. Like I said, we are senior real estate specialists. So if you have any questions about this current market, some tips to sell in this market, the homes that have made some of these improvements, things that we've just talked about, such as curb appeal, neutralizing, removing wallpaper, decluttering, those are the properties that are selling top dollar. That is the case in any market. But again, sometimes people just want to get rid of it, and we have resources for that as well. So please feel free to contact us. You have our contact information here. You can contact either Amy or myself, and we would be happy to come out and do a walkthrough of your house. And if you just have any questions about the market in general, please do not hesitate to reach out. And our website again is glengrouprealty.com. Thanks so much and have a great day.